I have very passionate words, and all I'm gonna say is he's a.
Okay, all right. Hi, welcome back to Serg's recording booth. I'm Serg, and this is my podcast. I know it's been a hot minute, but we're back, ladies and gentlemen, and my lady germs. Do you know what I'm saying? Today we have a very special guest. This person has been with me for so many years, mainly 4 to 5 years, in band and video gaming, and a lot of my recent kind of popular YouTube videos, from Don't Starve Together to the synonym, syn something video,
I
which
forgot the last word either. Too.
so here's my very special guest who's been wanting to get in the podcast, Riley.
Hi, nice to be here.
Hi, Riley. How are you?
I'm okay.
You doing all
It's just
right?
hot.
It's very hot. Yeah, we it's been a hot like 2 months now. Very
Yeah.
very disturbing kind of heat. So, Riley, if you would like to introduce yourself a little bit more, I feel like people only know you as the funny girl who's on the Don't Starve Together and or the Stardew Valley videos.
That's true. So, I'm Riley. It's nice to meet y'all. Um, I'm not entirely sure how to describe myself.
Well,
Uh, it's just like when you told me to describe myself, I was just like, how do I do that? So,
how do I do that?
um,
Yeah.
currently I'm in college and studying to become a computer science major.
Mhm.
And I've known Serge since what, 2018?
2018 was it? We met each other when I was a sophomore in band.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You were a freshman when I was
No.
no, you were. I
So
was
the
a
first
junior.
time, yeah, the first time I met you, I was like in eighth grade because it was like when the middle school band would
That's
go
right. The
hang out
middle
with the high
school
school band.
hanging out at the band. That's when I met you. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
we had a couple years in the band. Oh, that's my dog. That's a very special dog alarm over here.
She's got to go off in a few minutes.
You should probably hold. Hold. Any hoozle. I hope when the recording they get it messed up, we're fine. I hope. I hope to God.
We're good.
I think we're
We're
good.
good.
Yeah. There was a little microphone thing, but I think we're all fine. So yeah, Riley has been very special to me for many years, as long as I can remember her being in the band section of our trumpets. That's right. A lot of people may not know this. I was in band. I am a band nerd. four
We're the
years.
fucking band
we're
kids
the band kids. That's right. The band kids who are making YouTube content
about
and
video games.
about video
Is
games
the fucking three strings.
and doing a podcast episode. Who's been doing a podcast for a hot minute. So of course, I think the first thing I want to talk to you about, Riley, was about band. Um, I haven't asked. I was gonna ask Caesar this, but like it's been a hot minute since like me and him have done a recording booth and all that shit. So, what was your like favorite band memory, if you can recall?
That's okay. I got it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was my freshman year, and I think you were like a sophomore. I think junior.
Junior. Mm-hmm.
So it was the it was like the first competition I was ever at. And I remember when they were announcing like what the scores are. So it's like for anybody who doesn't know it, the kind of scoring system is like what fair, good,
Very good. I think excellent and superior.
yeah, excellent, superior. So the one memory I specifically have is at my first marching competition. Like the when they were announcing our scores, um, the whole band was so sure we'd get a fair, which is like the lowest kind of score you get.
Yeah.
So, but but when they got to our school, they said our school's name, and so everyone was all just like waiting, just like really really quiet, and it's like our high school's name, and we just erupted in cheers.
Yeah.
because we were so sure we were going to get a fair, but next thing you know, we did better than we thought.
We did, but yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then like that was a nice memory because even though we didn't do very well, it was still nice. And
It,
also the other part of the memory I got is when we'd all like be singing while walking out of the like we made the whole all the band start singing together like the pep songs.
oh yeah, yeah. I remember that time.
That's my favorite memory
Uh,
from band.
so yeah, I mean, yeah. There's a lot of good memories from band. I'm glad the first that one was like one of your favorite ones. Is like your first time going to competition and like getting something better than a fair.
Hmm.
I think for band wise, it was like, how would I say it? Um, I think when I was a junior, you were something. I think at that time, well, like how the band was at the time, I genuinely think that was like the best band year, me personally.
Really?
Yeah, I think when I was a junior, when Benji was a senior, when you was a freshman, sophomore,
Yes.
freshman,
Yes.
I think that was generally because I think the band was really big at the time. When
Yeah.
I think the band was like really really big on numbers, and we also had like I think Color Guard got introduced, or was that my senior year?
No, we had color
We
guard
had
then.
Color Guard then back then, but I think at the time it was like when the band was really big, and we had like probably one of our best directors who I can't name because I want to keep his privacy, of course. But
Hmm.
he was one of the best band directors we have right now. When I was there as well. Any other fond memories that you have for band?
Um, when you remember Allie?
Yeah.
So I well the bird that we found
Oh
during marching
yeah, we
camp.
took care of a bird. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel so bad about it, but like it's also just like she just brings a fucking bird to marching camp, and we're just like, what?
Yeah, that one was a it was an odd thing, but it shows like how much different band is from like other sports. It's not to say like oh if you're playing other sports you find another creature, but like I never heard stories from like other like sports and all that when like things like that were happening. It
Yeah,
was really really odd.
it was just so random, and it was like I was just like really nervous. And the next thing you know, Allie shows up with a little tiny baby bird that fell out of the nest, and she couldn't find her mom anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
So she was just like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah,
So
she
she brought him to the band room,
took care of
and
it.
yeah,
Yeah,
we that was the whole thing. But that was a really cute memory.
it
Just
was.
like, damn.
I think one of my favorite band memories was like going to the competitions. Those
Hmm.
were always fun, even though like it was annoying to wake up so early in the morning compared to like we already had to wake up early, as it is to go for practice in the morning for band. So
Yeah.
waking up like maybe 3 hours ahead just to go on a bus and all that shit for 2 hours and shit like that. And setting up, making sure everyone's here on time, making sure everyone had breakfast and all that stuff. It was kind of like a hassle, but it was one of my favorite fun memories because like I feel like a lot of the band got really got to know each other a lot more compared to like practices.
Yeah, the competition like really it just got to the point where like everyone would be helping out with everybody and become like just a little more closer with each competition we went to because it's just like this is it's like shit's going down. We need to make sure we're good. So it's like
Yeah,
that's when everybody was like really like looking out for everybody.
yeah, it was really nice, and like I feel like it was a really nice bonding moments a lot.
Yeah.
Even if we didn't go to competitions, like there's a thing called band day for a lot of people who don't know this. It's just literally where one big either college or university they invite a bunch of high school kids to come over and see like how it is to perform at a college level pretty much, and they just invite a bunch of people and we have like a big old activities and stuff like that. It's just a nice way to it's just like a little like it's a fun little I guess convention in a small way for people who are very into band or are just in band in general.
Yeah, those were always really fun.
Those were always fun because a we had to take a lot
Yeah.
and it was really really fun. I think one of my favorite other memories was when I finished an entire bowl of like EGs. Do you remember that?
I yeah, it was like the big styrofoam one, was it?
So if people don't know, who are young or old, there's you can order like a party like pack from EG's, and like it's like a big old styrofoam bucket pretty much. And like we were done with like our section of the competition, and there was just there like no one was eating, like I think it was like a strawberry flavor of it. So I took the chance, and I said, if no one's gonna eat this, I'm gonna like eat it all. And through the entire like an hour of me just constantly eating EGs, and I remember people kept checking up on me because like
Yeah.
there's pictures of me. I don't know like who has them. I think I still have a few of me looking like so uncomfortable, like maybe like halfway through the bucket, but I finished it, and
I,
like
I,
yeah.
I was just wondering that how you didn't puke yet.
Right, and I didn't puke. I did not puke. I was just like, cause it's like ice. It was ice and like food coloring, pretty much, you know.
Hmm.
So like, part of me was like, it was really funny. That's like one of my favorite memories. I remember a lot of people cheered me on. A lot of people were like looked at me like, what the hell is he doing? What the hell is he doing? Like another band memory that I really liked was the idea that like, so for a lot of people who don't know this, band usually has different sections. So you would get different types of music of how to play them depending on what section of the band you were in. And not to say like, oh, if you're doing like percussion or flutes, like even like brass section and all that all exists. However, there's a section in between that section would either be a first trumpet,
Yeah.
a second trumpet, or a third trumpet. Me, Riley, and our good friend Alondra were always jumping around from second and third. There was hardly any times that we would get first. I never got first. Uh,
I was forced into first
you were,
when everyone left.
yeah, you were forced. So we established, because usually we were the third trumpets. Almost nobody else got their trumpet except for the three of us. So I remember it was really fun memory of us getting together and be like, we are the third trumpeteers.
Yes.
And I think that was like one of my favorite memories because of like how I can relate to like having two other people who play as well as me.
Yeah.
I always thought myself that you two were always the better ones. I think low key out of everyone in the trumpet section, I was like on the bottom area. I know it sounds like disorienting. I had my moments, don't get me wrong, but like I was never the best trumpet player.
Now I would like. I remember distinctly like anytime we'd play together, I'd be hiding behind you guys
Hmm.
nearly always.
Really?
Yeah. So like I forgot which piece it was, but there was a specific piece that I couldn't play for the life of me.
Mm-hmm.
And so for most of the song, I was just like playing very, very quietly, so I would be drowned out.
You would be
But
drowned out. I
yeah,
feel.
I looked up to you guys a lot.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you, really. I feel
Hmm.
like we all jumped around in that, like, if two of us were good at that piece, we can be behind and like try to catch up.
Yeah.
And we would always encourage one another. Like you're doing all right, let's like pick it up a little bit. But like
Hmm.
a lot of the sections, I remember like for those who are, again, this is very band related. We're like 15 minutes in, like 13, I should say, about band. A lot of the sections like usually will stick with one another and like pretty much just encourage one another and or talk smack about one another.
It was all the above.
It was all the above, all in between. There was like, it's literally what you would think about as in football, baseball, soccer, whatever. You know,
Mm.
we was all the same in one way or another. But it was I enjoyed band more than probably sports because I'm not really that athletic. So that's why I did music and I really enjoyed it. And it.
Yeah, like
Mhm.
band, like I'm not athletic either, but like band was like the nice in between where I'm like, I kind of do want to play a little bit of sports,
Mhm.
and then for the rest of the year, not. It was a nice little in between because of marching season.
Marching season, yeah, marching. Like, again, people don't know this. There's two different things that happen in band. It's either from marching and then concert. So marching, we would have to train incoming people. Usually, whether it be in high school or in college, you have to come train people to learn how to march, to learn how to walk, how to pick up an instrument and all that stuff. So I remember those were always little fun memories as well. I have a few
Hmm.
stories I would like to tell, but like I feel like that would be better for another day. Maybe with another guest, my good friend Caesar. Caesar, if you're
Hmm.
watching, we have funny, we have some funny band camp memories. Do you have any band camp memories, Riley?
Weird. Yeah, one popped up in my head while you're
Yeah, go ahead, go
discussing
ahead, go
watching
ahead.
season. So I don't remember which year it was. I'm pretty sure you were there too.
Mm-hmm.
It was the year, like one of the warm-ups we had to do was to a song. What was it? Um, Sweet Dreams Are Made of This by
Sweet dreams are made of
yeah.
this. Yeah.
And so we had to like do like half squats to the
Half.
beat.
What? I don't remember doing that.
You don't?
I don't remember. Maybe I
No,
do.
it was traumatizing, so we probably like deleted it from
We probably
memory.
did. Yeah.
No, like it was for the entire song, and like what 15-year-old me who spent the entire summer just playing video games all fucking summer,
Yeah, yeah.
who like video games, junk food, all that, was not prepared because this is like the second day of band camp
Yeah.
where the color guard instructor was like, "Okay, guys, let's do warm-ups," and then he just pulled up with that, and I'm like, I don't want to do this.
Well, like they don't tell you this at all. Like when it comes to like marching band camp, like they just call it band camp. They don't straight up say it's marching camp. They just say it's band camp. Well, how they said it for us. After my first year, I realized, shit, I gotta get my body ready for like 3 weeks, 2 weeks of
Yeah.
like being in the heat for like 2 hours, just like marching around. And I know a lot of people might think I'm in military. This sounds like you're a bunch of like cowards and all that stuff. Hombre, when you sit down and play video games forever, that's terrifying.
And this is like the middle of summer in 100-degree weather.
Yeah. And we're not gonna say what state because I don't want to get tracked down.
Okay, yeah, I was like, should I say the
We
state? No,
can't say
no,
the
no.
state because I don't want to get tracked down. I don't want.
Okay.
But yeah, it was fun. I mean, the inner Mexican in me was like, about damn time you outside. But oof, it was something. But those are always fun too. There's a lot of crazy things that could happen.
Yeah.
A lot of crazy stuff happened in band. Um, I think one of them was like we got stuck in traffic and our band instructor had to call in like we're gonna be like a few hours late.
Oh
And we were
yeah.
stuck playing like card games. Was it Flip It on the phone or something like that? It was,
I think so.
it was some sort of game on the phone. We had to guess the thing. But I remember like I feel like we were stuck there for so long, and then the minute we moved, it's like, are we even gonna like bother? Like a lot of us were already like ugh about it.
Yeah.
And then keep in mind also, ladies and gentlemen, that like we even had concert competitions.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Those were always the worst because like we would have to be already dressed up, and if not, you would have to get dressed up in the bus. And if we were
Hmm.
lucky enough in a dressing room, but I remember a lot of us would like we would iron our stuff in the morning, and then like by the time we got there, our stuff is already like deragged,
Wrinkled.
wrinkled like crazy.
Yeah.
So we were like kind of show up unprofessional, like, but at the same time, it's kind of like we are kind of a few hours away from like depending on the competition area. But those were always
Because
fun because like we had to take our uniforms. That's one.
oh yeah.
But I think right after like concert, we would have more fun right after because we would have a few more hours. If I
Yeah,
could
and like
recall,
all of us like filing into Sonic and just ordering
it was
outside.
it was either Sonic. I think now for me, um, I enjoy In and Out as like every few months sort of situation because it reminds me of band.
Yeah.
And it's not like to say, like, oh, it's a bad thing. Like, no, it's a really good thing because, like, we would always go to In and Out. That was always, like, our to go right after band competitions, whether it be a concert and or marching, is that we would go to In and Out and everyone would enjoy it. I don't know.
Hmm.
It was crazy, man. I thought a lot of people were picky eaters, but, like, everyone would go to In and Out and enjoy the crap out of it. Maybe because it's been a few hours and, like, we can't eat when
It's
we're
like they're.
playing because, it would ruin the instruments. So
Hmm.
it was probably just the hunger that would kick in. But I always enjoyed going In and Out, no matter um, what it was and all that stuff. You,
Yeah.
however, I remember. I think out of the three trumpeteers, you got to be the highest because you became a drum minor to a drum major, didn't you?
So, um, so I wasn't able to become drum minor. I just went straight into drum
You
major
jumped into
because,
straight drum. Okay.
yeah. So my senior year, when you were gone,
Yeah, that was already.
um,
I was gone.
yeah. So I signed up as drum major and became drum major, and so another one of the trumpets, the only other senior trumpet was supposed to become section leader. So if you guys didn't know, each instrumentation section has its own section leader. So it's like one of the senior students basically just making sure like, okay, you good, you got this, you know this, okay. Or like just
He would take
people in
in charge of that
yeah, yeah.
area. Yeah.
So the only other senior trumpet was supposed to take over as section leader and I'll be drum major. And so it'd be like, okay, chill. But he ended up dropping out of that class about a month in. So
Really.
I had to be section leader, I had to be drum major, and it was so bad. Like because there were no junior students in my section, so it was all freshmen.
Hmm.
So all these new kids were doing what I did with you guys and like hide behind your guys' playing. So I'm like, oh shit, I have to figure this out. And this was when, since the only other senior trumpet was this guy named Christian,
Yeah.
he was first chair. Or yeah, first part. And so since he dropped out, all of his parts got passed to me. So not only did I go from consistently playing second and third parts, I went straight to playing first parts where the notes were so high that I wasn't quite used to hitting them.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to quickly learn how to do that. And this was during the time that my our old band director left and a new band director came in. New band director didn't teach anybody. He was a Can we cuss on the podcast?
You want to quick pause real quick?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, my bad. I accidentally pressed the pause button. Yes, we could cuss on the podcast, Riley. We're like 23 minutes in. Like you can cuss. That's fine.
Okay, just making
I
sure.
I haven't had any sponsors yet come in, but if Nord or like Hello Fresh, y'all looking for a small content creator, your boy here, he available.
Or honey. Or
Or
honey.
honey, hit
Come
me up.
sponsor us.
I'm on Twitter, Insta. Hit me up on my anything. I'm on shameless plug, really quick.
Oh my
Hit me up.
god.
Yeah, you can cuss on the podcast. We're like
Okay, cool.
way into it already. Yeah, go for it.
Cool, cool. Okay. Just tell me when we start again.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, as you were saying.
Okay. So my after our old band director left, new band director came in. He I have very passionate words, and all I'm gonna say is he was a fucking bitch.
Okay, all right.
Cause he refused he just wouldn't teach. So not only did I have to teach myself how to get to the high notes for the first part, I had to start teaching my section. And since I was drum major, everybody was coming to me also for questions on notation and stuff. So I'm like, oh, we're doing this, okay. And so I like a lot of the freshman students would come up to me and be like, hey, what's this note? Hey, how would I play this? And so I'm just like, am I becoming a teacher?
Mm-hmm.
It was bad.
So pretty much you had like an entire plate, just pretty much like you need to start serving these kids.
Yeah.
Christ, that's terrible. But like, I heard you did pretty well. I was happy to hear that you became drum major.
Hmm.
I low key thought that was not expected, but I'm happy it did that. Like one of the trumpets became well. Technically, you would be the second trumpet to become drum major.
Yes.
So
The
that would
first was Benji, and
first
then it
was
was just like,
Benji. So we can say Benji's name because Ben, he's been on here. But
yeah.
yeah, it was really exciting to see that as a whole, and because there wasn't many people who became drum major, drum minor, but I was happy to see that you stepped up to the plate and like pretty much like helped all these kids out, which I was really happy to hear. And as you told me as well, and all that, so it was really fun, really
Yeah, but
exciting.
all things considered with like the new band director, um, I did have a lot of fun my senior year.
That's
Like
good. That's good.
even though it was a little stressful for band,
Mhm.
just being able to help out like my underclassmen and stuff was just like, oh, this is actually really nice. I'm very happy to help out. So
I guess you had like a small feeling how me and like everyone else felt taking care of like everyone. Like it was really fun to like help our how would I describe it?
underclassmen.
Underclassmen like grow and become better than what we are. I
Yeah.
really do. I did like it. Like it's like literally learning from a teacher. So I'm happy to hear that like you learned and you were looked up to me and Alondra and you were to do the same thing to the underclassmen for your area.
Hmm.
Really enjoyable. Any less things you want to talk about the band before we move to our next topic?
Nothing I can really think of right
Okay, good
now.
thing all right, cool. So for a lot of people who didn't know this was before I started recording. If y'all remember COVID?
Oh God.
Um, Riley had the big idea of starting an entire SMP on Minecraft, the Minecraft SMP. This was not recorded or anything like that. Like I would have loved to record those sections, but at the time, I couldn't and stuff like that because of my limited hardware. Now I can, but like we haven't done it in a hot minute. I think out of all the multiplayer that I have played in Minecraft, that had been one of my favorite servers.
Yeah.
There was so much that we did on that server that like I'm sure you still have the world backed up, right?
Yes, I
Yeah,
have 3 copies of the
you
of
have
the
to.
backup.
Yeah. So I've been meaning to ask you, really, what gave you the idea to start an SMP? Like a whole
So
friend Discord. You literally opened a Discord, invited everyone you knew who played Minecraft to hop on the server. What gave you the idea?
so originally for the Discord, it started out as a Dungeons and Dragons server,
Which we will get to later.
which we will also get into later. But that's what it was originally for. But
Mhm.
D&D plans never got pulled through. So eventually, I just used it for miscellaneous things. And since my friends are all on there, it's like, okay, so this can be played for video games and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So the way the Chicken SMP started was me and my friend Calvin. He wanted to play Minecraft one day, and I was like, okay, let's pull up a world. So me and him started out on a world and built 2 houses, and I was like, hey, let's invite some more people on here. And he's like, yeah, let's do that. And so that's when we got a bunch more people to join in on it. I think at the peak, there's been about what 8 to 10 people
Eight
on
to
the
ten,
server.
8 to 10 people was like the peak. I think at the same time, which was insane to me because usually like nowadays that's kind of a hard number to get. It's 10
Yeah,
people in like for like 3 hours of just Minecraft.
yeah. And so, like, once we got everybody on, everybody started building their houses,
Hmm.
and it just became like a nice little community Minecraft. And I was like, damn. So at first, it only started to like, hey, you want to jump on Minecraft? And so like everyone jumped on Minecraft because it wasn't like it was on Bedrock,
It
so
was
we
like
had to do
realms. Yeah, we had to do it like the whoever has the world has to be on the console.
yeah. So for like what a few weeks, what I do is if I had to leave.
You would just
I
leave the
just leave
controller.
my
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just leave my console on so everyone else can still play. But eventually I was just like, you know what? I'll just pay for the Realms subscription. So I did. And that's when everything went from just like, oh, a nice little quaint Minecraft server where we have like a few houses,
Few
maybe some
house.
diamonds. It's nice. Next thing you know, people are building giant builds
Yeah.
in like the middle of the night and just everyone jump on at different times when it was like convenient for them.
Convenient for you.
Sometimes, yeah, they're just insane builds.
Yeah, I remember those nights. I remember I would get on stupidly late at night or stupidly early in the morning just so I could start building stuff. And I remember the people would get on, we would say hello. We wouldn't even get on call. If we needed to get on
Hmm.
call for something, it would be like a quick little like, can you help me do this really quick, or let's go explore that. But people would always be walking around texting on the little like chat and all that, and it was amazing. I remember that.
Yep.
I do remember it wasn't called the Chicken SMP for a long time. What do you remember what gave it the name? Was it the giant chicken that we built? Was it the chicken?
So no. So it was originally called the Chicken SMP or like
Oh, it
Chicken Nuggets,
was.
something like
It
that.
was chicken. Okay.
The reason why we figured out the name was Senor Pollo.
Oh, that's right. We had you had a pet chicken.
Yes. So before the Chicken SMP ever even came about, I had this castle
Mm-hmm.
in a creative world that I wanted to build. And so I only had like the front and it was originally supposed to be a solo project, right?
Yeah.
So originally, um originally I like we used the server to everybody jump on, so they helped me build this. So it was this giant castle. And I remember we built the walls first of the castle,
Mm-hmm.
like the outer walls, and we decided to play hide and seek. And so I was hiding and nobody was really finding me. So I was like, you know what? I'm a little bored. I'm gonna do stuff. So what I did was I spawned in about 200 chickens inside the wall to hide with me. And you guys didn't find me for another 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The only hint you guys got was when you get a lag spike every time you
Yeah,
pass
I
by
know.
a wall.
Yeah, because it was like 200 something chickens. Like, god damn it.
And eventually, like I sent a picture, and you're like, "Where are you? Why are you with chickens?"
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, you guys found me. So after that incident, we made a giant chicken, like a realistic giant chicken,
Yeah,
in that world,
in that
just
world.
just sitting there. So we call it Senor Pollo.
Mm-hmm.
And so then we were like, "Hey, let's do a survival world." And so that's how Chicken SMP ended up out because chickens, and that was a
Chickens.
big thing with the last world.
Yeah, I remember building a giant like automatic chicken cooker.
Right.
So that was always fun to build, and I remember I think I put like a little top hat on it, so it was pretty funny. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, what's up?
Yeah, and then you built the automatic cooker, and I was like, okay, Senor Pollo lives.
Oh yeah, like I feel like if we were to jump back into doing like a giant SMP or playing Minecraft again, or like everyone like a big old group thing, like it would give me a chance to record, but with everyone's permission, of course. Or I can
Mhm.
just literally do a solo thing where like I just walk around this giant server and do my own plans, like how they do it on Hermitcraft, which I'll say this right now, is probably and forever will be one of my favorite uh, multiplayer server creators.
Mine
Rendog,
too.
if you're here ever listening to this someday, you're my favorite Minecraft YouTuber. I've been watching you since day one. Bless you, sir. You have made my Minecraft childhood, and I'm still watching this guy to this day. Well,
Mine's Mumbo and Grian,
yo,
but also
yeah,
Rendog.
I love Rendog, dude. He's such a great Minecraft YouTuber.
He
I love
is.
me some Dan TDM. I love me boy Dan. Good man. I love a bunch of Minecraft YouTubers, but Ren, always one of my favorite ones.
Hmm.
I think that's why he inspired me a lot because like his stories that he told in his earlier Minecraft survivals were like really interesting to me, and a lot of the
Hmm.
builds were really personal to him. So that's what I wanted to do with mine. I remember this wasn't even on my choice. We all decided to do like houses really close to each other on the server. I got
Oh
a
yeah.
little island for myself that wasn't even an island. It was literally just a chunk of grass. And like I started building like I even built a house. Yet I was building like a little like Because usually when I play Minecraft now, I don't really build a house anymore. I usually just build like a giant camping set. Like something small, something that doesn't really require anything. And everyone on the server just unanimously agreed this guy's the hobo on the island. I for
Yep.
and to this day still, I'm still considered either the hobo on the island, the old man on the island, and or this is Serg, the hobo on the island who plays way too much Minecraft and knows way too much about Minecraft.
Yeah, he was the potion master.
I love making potions in the game, and I wish Minecraft would do more potion ingredients and or change how potions are because I would like more potions in the vanilla game. But I was usually the dude that everyone would come to for Minecraft stuff because my hyper fixation on Minecraft
Yes.
is like through the roofs. Where like I'm always watching the lives, and I'm just like, I know this information. I gotta repeat to people, we're getting this, we're getting that. But for the
Yeah.
longest time, and till this day, still, I'm still considered the hobo on the island for them.
Yeah, his Discord nickname on the server that we used for the Chicken SMP is the old hobo on the
The
island.
old hobo on the
That's the
island.
whole thing.
And I remember that a lot because I remember like people would get on the server and I would be doing something crazy. I would be building some things and people were like, what is he doing now?"
Yeah, the fucking the rail the railway?
Oh yeah, I built the rail. So quick little story to that. Um, a lot of the people on the server didn't. How would I describe it? Like people, a lot of the people on there like haven't gotten too deep into Minecraft. Like how like to say like they didn't fight the Wither before. A lot of people haven't fought the Wither, and a lot of people haven't fought the Ender Dragon. You know.
Yeah, a lot
So
of this was like we used the server a lot for achievement hunting.
achievement hunting and for people to experience this fight, these little like I guess in-game events or like in-game things that like people wanted to try out for a long time, but now they are able to do with friends. So this wasn't your first time fighting the Wither, right?
It was
It was. So I think it was only three of us. It was me, you, and
Emma.
Emma. I remember you two were getting ready to fight the Wither for the first time. And I've already fought this. I've fought. I've been again Minecraft. Way too much time on this game. Um, and I only have like a few videos. We'll get off topic. Blah blah blah. It was your guys' first time fighting the Wither, and I remember hunting down the skulls and all that stuff so we could fight it. And I remember you guys were terrified.
Oh yeah.
You two were like hesitant so much to fight the Wither. And like part of me was like, y'all good, y'all got the best armor at that right now, you know, like just I'll tell you right
Yeah,
now.
like
Yeah, go ahead.
we all had full netherite armor, but I was just like I was more
No,
concerned about losing my armor.
we have netherite. It was diamond. The netherite wasn't out yet.
No, it was.
It was, but I don't think we had netherite.
We had netherite because don't you remember the highway
Did we already have?
in the nether?
I think you had it. My ass was still on diamond. I think I most of
Yeah.
netherite. I think I had it on my sword.
Me and Emma had netherite. I'll
And
try to
you,
find the picture.
yeah, and you guys were still scared.
Yeah, because I didn't want to lose my armor, and I did end up losing my armor.
Yeah, because of the blast
Yeah.
radius thing. And I remember
Yeah.
like I think it was Emma, uh, who was super scared. She was also really scared to fight the Wither. And
Yeah.
when we beat it, she was like, "Oh, that was nothing. That wasn't that bad." While you, Riley, you were screaming. You were like, "I'm dead. I can't find my armor."
I was so mad that I lost my armor.
It was like, and then from there, I remember like, you know, we could start making a beacon, and I remember we tried to do it like with different blocks, and I remember spending, uh, what was like an entire week in that crater that the Wither built, a giant rail system.
Mhm.
Because I remember people would ask me, where the hell is Surge? And I would always say, I'm underground building a railroad. and
We never know where you were.
you guys never knew where I was. You all would try to look at the map and see where I was, but it was like never there. And I remember I think you found it and you were like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah.
So like a lot of the iron and all that stuff that I ended up getting and all that stuff was just literally on the railroad because there was an achievement that like you're supposed to go on a straight line for a certain amount of blocks.
Hmm.
So it was one of the achievements I've always wanted to do. When I got it, I was really happy with it. But it was like one of the most fun projects to do on that server. Another project that we had that me and you did was the Daft Punk.
Yeah.
We built the two Daft Punk statues, which was really fun. Um, it was
The
really
pit.
the pit. There was a Riley. I remember going on that server and Riley made a giant pit, like from like as high as the build limit all the way down to bedrock, and I was like, and it's
Because I knew,
perfectly square too. It's not like a
yeah,
giant like pixelated hole. It's a full on like even by even square.
yeah. Okay, so the story behind that is like I knew one of the achievements was going from like build height to
Bedrock.
uh bedrock.
Yeah.
So I got bored one day and I was like, you know what? I'll just dig a hole. So I decided to dig out a 16 by 16 square, like for a chunk, and just dig it all the way to the bottom.
Mhm.
And Emma ended up popping in halfway through and she's like, "Where are you?" And I'm like, "Digging a hole." And she's like, "Where?" And I'm like, I told her where I was. So she went over and she's like, "Hold up, I'm gonna help." So me and her dug out this entire hole all the way to bedrock and then got the achievement.
Mhm.
And I would call it the pit of death because everybody died.
Mhm. Mhm.
And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna expand it. So I put another 16 by 16 square and connected it to the that one. And then eventually, when we got the build height extension, when the deep dark popped in,
Yeah.
um, me and Emma were like, okay, we know what we need to do. So we went back to the Chicken Doesn't Pee, and this was at the point where we hadn't played for like months. We jumped back in, completed the whole, and yeah,
Yeah. um. Do you have any other like fond memories of the Chicken SMP?
the highway.
Oh yeah, we built a giant highway. That one was fun to do because I remember you at the time when it was just me and you on the server. You explained the entire Kingdom Hearts lore while we were just building this enormous highway in the Nether,
I
finding
remember that.
Netherite and finding like different locations that we can just like load up new chunks, and it was like stupidly late at night too.
Yeah, my throat was shot by
Yeah,
the
you
end
were.
of that.
Yeah, and like like we dug like hell out through it.
Hmm.
It was really fun. I think one of my favorite fond memories from the SMP were all the builds. I think that was another one of my favorite. Everyone built something, whether it be a little like underground thing, like something small, something large. People would always be building on this server, and it was just amazing. You know.
Hmm.
Of course, it's at the point where Minecraft is like you can play for so long, but like for a good while, people are gonna start feeling burnout, and it happens. I remember like a lot of us just like, I think it was right after, no, before that, we celebrated Christmas on there because COVID was still a thing, and I remember
Right.
like I think it was Emma, or was it who was the one that built the Christmas tree?
And
It was Emma, right? And
yeah.
everyone gave gifts to each other. It was amazing. We all gave gifts to each other, whether it just be a diamond, an enchantment book, or just a funny little like something. It was really nice, really
Hmm.
enjoyable. We all collectively build like community stuff, like a community built um, enchantment room, community built skeleton farm.
Yeah, that was.
That one was super fun to do. Or like we would all help each other build something, or like get collectively with each other. Like we had an entire community built farm where like people would work on different farms and just put food in just one chest. Like
Yeah,
we
the
have
community food
the
chest.
community food chest over here. So it was really really fun. It was a giant community thing. Even if no one got on like calls and all that stuff, we would all just have fun. And I wish that like we would all be able to do this on Java because of modding and all that stuff. But this within
Hmm.
itself in vanilla was like something that I never really got to like really really experience.
Me either.
So,
Like
mhm.
being like I like beforehand, all my experience with Minecraft was just mostly me sticking to creative.
Mhm.
So this world was like the very first time I did a lot of the achievements for Minecraft.
Mhm.
So it was the first time I beat the Wither, first time I beat the Ender Dragon,
Yeah.
the first time I got a full set of diamond armor. It was things like that. And just like the fact that we were also like the fact that we were all so close together, even though it was also a problem for like space. But the
Yeah.
fact that we were all so close together all the time was just like you could easily just hop by somebody's house and be like, "Hey, do you have this?" And yep, okay. It felt like a community. It was that's just like my favorite Minecraft server I've ever been
Yeah. It was fun.
part of.
Maybe someday. We don't know how long, depending on how like. I don't think Minecraft's gonna die. I think it's one of those games that's gonna outlive me.
Yeah, me too.
But maybe someday there'll be like a chance where like even more people can do this community thing because I'm sure it can get like way 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 bigger. But it's also like we all don't have the time anymore or all that stuff, and it's fine. Everyone's living their own lives. Everyone's doing their own thing. It's not to say y'all need to come back. Like no 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 no. Like I remember taking like we all unanimously just took a fat break from the game
Yeah.
because like we did everything that we could at the time, and other games were coming out, other life events were happening, so it was kind of like we really couldn't jump onto the server. And when we did, we spent like a few hours on it, and it would be fun. I
Hmm.
think before we wrap up the chicken SMP era, I think one of my fond memories, one of my favorite memories, was everyone on call to go fight the Ender Dragon.
I remember that's another one of my favorite memories
That's
too.
one of my favorite ones because it was like everyone would always jump on at the time, as we would say, but like this was the one day we all scheduled it. This time at
Yeah.
this hour on this day, we were getting on the
Like
server and fighting the Ender Dragon. Because for a lot
and
of people, like 90% of them, this was their first time fighting the Ender Dragon.
yep.
And like legitimately, by the way, so it was kind of like
This
amazing.
was the moment.
Yeah, like for me seeing this moment was like I'm seeing my pupils fighting something that so little people have fought in actual vanilla. So like it made me stupidly happy to see like everyone knew what they were doing, or like everyone was like, okay, what do we do? Like we gotta knock out the crystals and all that stuff. So seeing everyone unanimously just like see their roles as like who's better on the bow, archers from like swordsmen to even like magic, like the
Yep.
whole potion system. It was like amazing to see that stuff. And I remember like I think nobody died.
Calvin did.
Calvin did.
Because when we spawned in on a platform
Oh, that's right, and he
floating over the
fell.
void. It
It
fell.
was a platform. Yeah, I forgot like that was a thing. But either way, he was back in the fight.
Yeah.
And yeah, I remember we beat the Ender Dragon, and I was really happy. Like everyone was happy, and then we just made a giant like trophy of the Ender
Hmm.
Dragon with the egg and all that stuff. Like we got the head, the egg, and we just have it right there. It was plowed exactly right in the middle of this little
Yep.
community that we had, and we unanimously were like, "This is the best thing ever."
Yeah, me and after you guys so after we completed the fight, everyone like jumped me and Jupi stayed on after the rest of you jumped off and we went um in city hunting.
Yeah, you guys
And
went in city
so
hunting. Yeah,
I got the elytra and I got the dragon head. And so when I came back I slapped the head right on the pedestal.
yeah, it was dope. I remember. I think when all of us like came to the conclusion that we did all we could. I think everyone put their armor in like little stands and all that stuff. So we were like, "Damn, this is like we'll see each other like maybe in a few months, maybe in a few years to jump back onto another SMP."
Mm-hmm.
But overall, it was one of my favorite Minecraft moments I've had in a long time, very long time.
I agree.
Hey, yep. um,
Good era.
On to our next topic. Riley's always been the one. She's always keeping me updated. She has a whole backlog of video games,
Oh
and
God.
we can stay with this for a little bit longer. This topic, um, to all you gamers out there, we all have our backlogs. Don't act like, oh, I've perfected everything. No. Don't act like y'all don't have games that y'all like played halfway and like, okay, I'm jumping to this game. We all have our backlogs. I've never met a person in my life who's written an entire list of backlog games until Riley. You have over how many games?
So, let me give some background information before people are like, we have what? How many? Okay. So, my whole family is a family of gamers. Okay. So, the whole collection of video games we have is a collection that has been made over two generations. So there's old games included in this list, and then there are my games included in this list, okay? So, as of like the old list, I had about 200 to 300 games on this backlog. And this was like the entirety of all the games we had, right?
Yeah.
So, last time you heard about this list, it was a physical list, right?
Oh, are we going digital now?
We are digital now.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I ended up doing, this was recently actually. I decided to go back. I made an Excel sheet, so I have the Excel sheet, and I can open that up real quick and I can tell you. So I took the time. It took me about like 4 hours of just writing to list shit out. So I organized the whole thing
Mm-hmm.
by like one of these days, next time we're here in person, I'll show you like like just all of it. So I have an Excel sheet for these games where it's the master list, where it's all of the games that I have. Then a second page on the same Excel sheet, like so a second page on the Excel sheet is for completed games. Another page is for incomplete games, all of them, and then one's for my console, so my Xbox, my Switch, and then for my PC, laptop, but I'm not gonna get into that. And then an additional two lists for games that I want, and then miscellaneous games I've been wanting to play on like consoles I used to have that broke, you know?
Yeah.
So after I made the whole list where it was like everything and everything, I realized that on the website How Long to Beat, you can put in your gaming backlog and it'll fully sort it out, tell you like what's the stats, how long, like how many hours will it be feasibly to beat all these games.
Yeah. Yep.
So for my own sanity, I only put the games that I like personally have bought and the ones that I'm like willing to play right now before tackling the older games. So there's still about 200 games on this thing. A little less than that.
Little less now.
But I have made it my mission over the past few months to try and complete my backlog.
And this is counting like, because you said that there's only certain games you're just gonna complete just to complete, but there's also certain games that you can do like achievement wise, correct?
Right. So how I have it organized is my backlog, my completed log,
Yeah.
and then the games I 100% my favorite, and yeah. So my backlog, I started with about 200 games, a little less than that. I deleted some, dropped some, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I currently am standing out of the 200 I added at 113 games beaten.
God damn. And some of them are just like, and some of them are achievement wise, right? 100% achievement wise.
Yeah. There's only about 4 of them, so I will say that. But
Can you tell us which 4 are
so
the achievement ones?
so I 100% completed Doki Doki Literature Club Plus.
Yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
Yeah, you know about that
I
one.
know about that one. Yep.
Um, I 100% completed the Walking Dead Telltale series game series. This the first season. I plan to do the other seasons too,
Okay.
but those were more or less very easy to complete. I also 100% completed this game called Immortality, which is a very we're going a little bit on the side, but I want
No,
to
it's
do
fine.
explain
No, no,
this.
go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Yeah, no, go for it. Oh yeah.
So, Immortality is this game where you're just going through movie clips. But the thing is when you're going through these movie clips, you can click on a certain object in the clip, and it'll take you to an entirely different scene which has the same object.
It's interesting. I never heard of this game.
Over
Hmm.
over three different games. It is a very good. It's a very good story, and it's very interesting. It's like this whole mystery where you're trying to figure out this the career, the movie career of this woman who is in all three games, and there's like a big mystery surrounding and like why she stopped acting. I'm not gonna
Hmm.
spoil anything, but like it is very good.
It's really good.
And
Check out Immortal.
finally, check out Immortality.
Immortality. Check it out.
Finally, the last game I have on this list. I do have a few more that I do want to 100% complete, like Elden Ring, Cyberpunk 2077, things like that.
Okay.
But the one I currently have 100% completed is Persona 5 Royal.
What?
I have 100% completed all the achievements, and I have 100% completed the entire Thieves Den.
The Persona 5 Royal. That's the extended one, right?
Yes, yes, it is.
Girl, oh my god.
Persona 5 Royal has pretty much two sets of achievements. Sometimes they'll overlap, but even if you 100% complete all the achievements for Persona 5 Royal, so it'll show on um your your profile, your game profile,
Mm-hmm.
there's a secondary list of achievements that are like what deal 9,999 damage in one attack.
That is
Those things.
that is insane. How long did that take you?
So it's currently sitting at 231 hours.
231 hours. Low key, that sounds for that sort of like game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's too small. But like for me personally, I feel like that's a really small amount of hours. But like, keep in mind everyone has different hours. So like you were on this for like days upon days, right? Like nonstop.
Yes. So this was during the time where like I hadn't started college yet, but I just finished high school.
Mm-hmm.
And this is when Persona 5 Royal popped out on Game Pass for Xbox.
Yeah.
So I had that shit pre-downloaded, and
Ready to go.
I was ready. So you know that month that I was gone for where I wasn't really texting anybody?
Yeah. That was it.
That was it. That was it.
That's insane to me. Cause like I don't know how many achievements Persona 5 Royal has, but I always hear like this game feels like you need so much time just to get the achievements. I always hear that Persona needs like so much time to beat the achievements.
Yes.
That is
So
insane to me.
the way I ended up doing, so the one big thing with Persona 5 Royal is you have to be very specific, like very
Specific on what you
I
do.
yeah, specifically what you do, because you only have a certain amount of time to do all of these things.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So right at the beginning, I've already seen like the gameplay and everything like that. But right before I started my playthrough, I made sure I had everything I needed. So I even sorted out all the confidants I needed, what I need to get to the third semester. I was determined to do everything
So you pretty much had
in
like
one run.
in one run because you already had like a list ready to go.
Right. And so I
Amazing.
did.
Cool, cool, cool.
So I 100%. It's the one thing with Persona 5 Royal is you can 100% complete the game for all the achievements on your Xbox, your PlayStation, whatever. In pretty much, if you're able to do everything in one run, you'll get all the achievements.
That is insane to me. Did
I
you?
love.
Yeah, you loved it. Yeah. I was gonna say, did you have any like moments where like you had to like reload a save?
There, no,
No,
there
really.
was there was one point where Futaba is one of the confidants,
Yeah.
one of the social links you can do. Um, So she was the last one I needed to do. She was the last person I needed to max out. And I was sweating bullets because on the final month before like was my deadline. I need to get everybody done.
Yeah.
It was Futaba, Haru, and what was his name? Shinra? It's the little kid.
Okay.
But I had those three left, and I was sweating bullets because I thought I wouldn't make it. And so Futaba, I had like I had to do confidants and like a bunch of different like all the stat building and stuff until the very last day.
That's insane.
So I was so certain I wasn't gonna have time. It was
So yeah, that's bad. Damn, that's crazy to me. Persona 5 Royal all achievements. That is insane to hear.
it's like but it was satisfying to me because like I already knew the story. I just didn't know this third semester.
Mm-hmm.
But like I was really into Persona 5 in like middle school. And so being able to come back to it and being able to like finish everything, get everything like that I missed was just a fantastic feeling.
Yeah, I would assume so. Like you did all this. That's a good feeling of it.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Holy crap, really.
Yeah.
Yeah, cause I remember you sent me a photo. You were just like, I beat it 100%. I was like, girl, what you talking about?
Yeah.
Girl, you tripping or
Like
something.
it's just I'm always cryptic with the Snapchats where I'm like I finished a game and I'm just like I did it.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
But more likely than not, if you get like a snap from me or like a message from me being like just like a single sentence being like I did it, that's when I'm like in disbelief that I did it, and so I really enjoy the game.
Is there any like game that you're just gonna like? Has there been any recent? Oh well, I guess Tears of the Kingdom would be your most recent one, right?
Yeah, I really want to like 100% Tears of the Kingdom,
Mm-hmm.
but
But
I don't want to do the Koroks.
no one wants to do the Korok seeds. No one wants
You're
to.
gonna do the Korok seeds.
I'm thinking about doing them because like by the end of it, I only had like 150. So I'm not even like
Hmm.
halfway, and I was like, God damn it! And there's over 1,000. I'm only doing it to pass the time until DLC comes out. Famous
Okay,
last,
that's fair.
famous last words. Because
Oh my god.
I haven't like, what was the last? I don't remember what game. What was the last game? I'm trying to 100% Terraria right now,
Ooh.
but I haven't played the game in like a hot minute now because I was playing that with friends and we all had like things to do and it's just like
Hmm.
one little thing is happening. But it's Terraria's fun. I haven't 100% a game. Is there any roguelikes that you have played as of recent?
Um, Hades.
Hades.
I finally got to it.
Mm-hmm.
Like I finally completed not everything,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I've been able to beat Hades
How many times?
about five so far.
Oh, so you need five more.
I need,
You need if people don't know this, you gotta beat Hades. Oh, spoiler! You gotta beat Hades 10 times.
oh my god. I wish you didn't say that.
What's up?
I wish you didn't say that.
Yeah, you should have
Oh
seen
my god.
one of my good friends, my friend Kendra. She recently beat it a while back for the first time, and she's like really happy with it. I'm like, and I told her straight up, okay, now do it 9 more times.
Oh my god.
And she's like, what? It's like you need to do it 9 more times. That's the truth. I love Hades. Um, I I was always into it, but I never had a chance to play it until like Kendra had two copies of the game because she had one for digital and physical. And she's like, "You want to borrow the game?" So I did. Right. This was like, was it a few summers? I think it was like last year summer.
Hmm.
I don't remember when I started playing it, but I remember sticking to that game for 3 days straight. I
Oh my
played that game
god.
for 3 days straight. Um, some days I'll take a few hours to take a little break and all that. At the time, Kendra didn't beat the game yet. It took me 3 days to beat Hades, like straight, like that. And
What the fuck?
yeah, I love roguelikes. I think roguelikes are so much fun. Like, it's weird to say it, right? Because I think a lot of people struggle with roguelikes. but they're
Me
so much fun. I think and I remember sending a picture to Kendra. I might when I get her on the podcast, I'll talk to her about it for her reaction for the thing. But I remember I sent her a thing, and she hated me. She hated me so much that like she was happy that I did it, but she was pissed because she had the game longer than me. I only had the game
too.
for 3 days,
And
and
you fucking did
and
it.
I did it, and I beat Hades like for like one time, right? And I was like,
Mhm.
I'm gonna keep doing this, and I kept doing it. And like right now, I don't know how big my streak is. I think it's like 12. I think my streak
Oh
is right
my
now
god.
12 right now of like Hades wise. Don't get me wrong, there's still so much things I'm missing in the game, like combination wise or like giving people certain items and stuff like that.
Right.
But Hades is so much fun to play. I haven't played it in a few months, but if there's like a roguelike right now that like I feel like people should try out is Hades.
Oh,
Right now I'm playing Enter the Gungeon.
ooh.
That one's a
I've heard that one's good.
a fun role. Like I'm struggling with it surprisingly, but it's also
Really?
yeah, it's a really like big bullet hell
Ooh.
as well. So it's like it's really fun. A lot of the gun concepts are really funny. So I'm gonna keep playing that on my own. It's really fun.
Speaking of roguelikes though, one I'm pretty sure it's considered a roguelike, but one I really enjoy is Cult of the Lamb.
Oh yeah, that one looks. I want to play that one. I haven't had a chance though yet, but I remember this was like
Very fun.
very funded and all that, and it's really cute art style. I watched Zach Scott play it.
Ooh.
But yeah, I see a lot of people. I enjoy the music to it as
Yeah,
well.
the music is fantastic.
It's really
Like
really nice.
I bought it like a month or two after release, and got it for a pretty good sale.
Mhm.
And I just had a lot of fun with it. I got to about day 60
Okay, damn.
or so. Like I was taking my time, so I'm not done with it by any means. But like it is a very fun roguelike, and like the combat's really fun. It's like it I don't know how to describe it. It's also been a while since I played it, but it's it's a little annoying with the like taking care of the cultists,
Yeah.
like your commune. But I still really enjoy it because it kind of reminds me a little bit of Animal Crossing in a sense.
Yeah, yeah.
But overall, like I love that game. It's one of my favorite roguelikes, even though the list of roguelikes I've played is limited.
It's very small. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's not an issue. Like, there's like so many like I remember like I think one of me and my friends have I talked about it. Um, we all make an entire list of like the games that we played growing up and all that stuff, and like a lot
Mhm.
of us realized like, damn, we play way too many video games, or a lot of us realize like we've only played a certain amount. But I've also come to realize like a lot of people have a different enjoyment in different games.
Right.
Um, which is not an issue, right? Like everyone has like a certain genre that they really love. Like I love playing all games. I think survival games are one of my favorite ones.
Come
Yeah, go for it.
pause.
I'll pause really quick.
Yeah, because
Yeah. All right, we're back. Well, quick water break, really quick. I was out of water, so I went to go get water.
yeah.
My throat's dying over here, guys. It's been a hot minute since I've done a recording booth like this. We were talking about gaming. Yeah. So a lot of me and my friends, we realized how many games we've played, like growing up, which ones we've enjoyed, what like, excuse me, I'm gonna fucking cough. What kind of like company like games we enjoy? Like, I'm more of a Nintendo guy. I love Nintendo. I don't know if people see that on my stories on like Instagram or not. Like you can tell, I don't really play like PlayStation or Xbox as much as I used to. But I grew up with Nintendo, so I'm always wearing like some sort of Nintendo thing.
Yeah. For me personally, I've been an Xbox girly
Mhm.
because so this was because of my brother
Yeah,
specifically.
yeah.
So my parents decided to give him a video game console. So they gave him the choice. You want to get an Xbox or you want to get a PlayStation? And he decided to get an
An
Xbox. And from
Xbox.
then on, we have been an Xbox family. But I do want a PlayStation very badly.
So like in another timeline, you would have been a PlayStation girl.
Yes.
That's very
Yes, I would
funny.
have.
Um, I grew up with Nintendo. my mom and my dad, big Nintendo, but my mom more. There's a little funny story to this. Before I get back to the whole genre of gaming, what at the time when my mom was pregnant, right? Like when she was having me,
Hmm.
my dad, he would go to work. During a baby shower, no, not baby. My dad, as a like gift to my mom, was the Super Nintendo. So
Really?
the Super Nintendo was one of the gifts that my dad got for my mom. So my mom,
Hmm.
she would make breakfast for my dad, for work and lunch and all that stuff. She would do a couple of chores when she can, because keep in mind she was pregnant. There's only so much she can do. She has to lay down, sit down and lay down, right?
Hmm.
She would stay up playing Super Mario World
Oh my
on
God.
the Super Nintendo. I remember my dad telling me that I remember coming home really late one night, and I saw your mom's eyes were red, and she was when she was pregnant with you, and I laughed a little bit. So this was at the time like my dad played a lot of arcade games, so did my mom.
Hmm.
But my mom was more like she didn't really play video games, but when she met my dad, the roles kind of sort of got reversed in a way. It was really weird because my dad took a lot more responsibility, and my mom, of course she took responsibility, but she played video games a lot more. And my dad has a specific genre that he likes. He likes plane games, like games that involve a plane, or like Galaga and all that stuff. My
Right.
mom is more like a platformer game, but like she plays like games. She can't play. I think they can't really play the games we have now.
Hmm.
Um, but my dad tried playing like like one of the new Super Mario Brothers, and he enjoyed it. My mom, I think after she had me and my sister, she just completely like, I can't play video games anymore. Like I have a whole like family to take care of, with kids. But it's funny to think that like when I was in the womb, my mom was playing video games. I always make the joke that I've been playing video games ever since I was in the womb. and
Yeah.
yeah, it was that time. It was pretty funny. So like to think that like my mom is more of the reason why I really love video games.
I actually got a similar story to that
Mhm.
too. So so my mom doesn't play video games.
Mhm.
She never plays video games. But my dad was a huge video game nerd. So he would do like arcade games, stuff like that. He had the NES, SNES. He he just loved video games. He was very nerdy, like D&D, all that. And my mom, complete opposite.
Yeah.
But there was one time my dad convinced her, I think when they were married, to play Solomon's Key
Ooh,
on the
really?
NES.
Solomon's Key. All right.
Right. So, him and my mom would play that together. And so anytime my mom would mess up, my dad'd be like, "That's an interesting concept." But my mom played that game for so long that they like,
Religiously.
yeah, well, no, it was like 1 or 2 days.
Oh, really?
But
Huh?
like, she played, like, she started playing at like 8 a.m. and then like stopped at 4 a.m.
Oh my god.
And so at that moment, she was like, "I'm never playing video games again."
Yeah, it's funny to see certain people like who have never really touched video games just get sucked into it.
Hmm.
Cause like for us that's like normal now. That's
Right.
like a normal thing. We can get sucked into a game for a few hours and be like, all right, whatever. But for like new people, it'd be like, whoa, what just happened? Like, where did the hours go by? It's
Hmm.
insane to me that happens. Um, so back to like real quick, my friends. So maybe it's just me now. I'm a little bit. I'm still a young buck. Estoy joven, el güey aquí. But I can't play shooters anymore.
Really?
It's at the point where like we had a discussion, me and my buddy were talking about it, and we like the only shooter that like, I'm playing right now, because I only play it with Kendra, is Overwatch 2. I don't play it
Hmm.
religiously. That shooter for me is like all right. It's not my best performance like back in like ye old COD days over here, but
Hmm.
I feel like when it comes to shooters now, I'm not as fast as I used to be. I'm way slower now. it's insane. Like I feel like I lost that skill for like shooter games. But I've also been playing a lot of my platformers again, a lot of my indies, a lot of my games that I really enjoy, and I feel so much like joy playing these games compared to
Right.
when I played shooters. Because maybe I'm just like I can't play shooter. Like maybe if it was like a fast shooter, maybe yeah. But
Hmm.
like I don't know. I feel a little bit slower now when it comes to like playing a shooter game. It's really interesting to say, but like that's just how I think I feel right now. But maybe if I got back into it, maybe I can get my groove back.
That makes sense.
Mhm.
Like with my relationship with shooters, um, I like I was like I like playing shooters occasionally, like every once in a while. But the thing with me is I always kind of have to have like a buddy
Yeah,
playing with
yeah,
me
yeah,
because one thing that so I'm the youngest in my family, and so one thing is I'd play with my sister and my brother all the time playing shooters, right?
yeah.
So I got very used to playing with them. So we play like Gears of War, Halo, Borderlands.
Borderlands.
Borderlands is a shooter I love,
Yeah.
but I got very used to playing like co-op. And so when you like got me to play Apex, I was never good at Apex. but but I had a lot of fun because I was playing with multiple people.
Yeah.
But I remember distinctly like we were playing Apex for a little while and then we moved on to Halo.
Yeah.
Shit, it felt like all my memories are coming back to me. And I remember there was like one round where I played by myself and I got like 30 kills.
Nice.
And I was like, I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun. I always like playing shooters with friends. I think playing a
Hmm.
shooter by yourself is like you can do it if you find it enjoyment, but I think it's so much so much fun with a buddy or even buddies. Because if you can get like
Yeah,
an entire squad of like your friends to play, it's like the best day of your life. One of the best moments,
absolutely.
absolutely. Um, yeah, gaming wise, so many games to play still. I lean more now because a lot of my friends tell me this. I'm more in the indie genre now. I've always loved indie stuff. Indie
Hmm.
games are so much fun. You can tell there's a lot of passion to them, and I'm trying out old indies, new indies all the time. Don't get me wrong, I'm still playing my Zeldas, my Mario's. You know, like
Hmm.
I'm still playing whatever Nintendo shoves down my throat. I'm I'm gonna play the new Super Mario Wonder, and I'm gonna feel like I'm playing New Super Mario Brothers when like from the DS. I'm gonna feel like a kid again. Mario RPG is getting a remake. I'm getting that game. I'm gonna feel like a kid again. Um,
Nice.
I remember seeing one of the funny commercials for the Tears of the Kingdom where it was like an adult guy playing it, and a lot of people made fun of it because like you're doing all this stuff and now you spend like a few hours. That's how I felt playing Tears of the Kingdom for like a week. Just literally sitting down and playing this. Like I was like, this is amazing. This is like great. No spoilers. The game is still. It's a month in as of this recording, so no spoilers still. You know,
Bro,
let people play the game. But
when I pre-ordered Tears of the Kingdom,
mm-hmm.
you know that,
Yeah,
but I finished that within a week.
yeah. I know
I
you.
was I was glued.
Yeah, you were glued for a week. I had to. I can only play so much because I was finishing up college.
Yeah.
And I remember spending some time. Then I wanted to like, I always do the shrines and all that other stuff first. I remember you texting me like, "You have all these hearts? How?" And I'm like, "Girl, I did all the shrines. Took
Yeah, I was just
a lot of the hours are into the shrines."
yeah, because me personally, the way I play video games is usually if it's like a story, like there's a main story, I'll try to complete the story first
Mm-hmm.
before I complete like side content.
Okay.
But unless there's like a deadline for something, so like with Near Replicant, there's a deadline to complete a set amount of quests that you get. So that's when I try to like do everything. But me personally, I try to get through the story first, and if I really enjoy the story, really enjoyed the gameplay going through the story, then I'll go back and like finish the side content, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that was also a big thing when I was playing for Summer 5 Royal, because even though I got all the achievements and in that one big run, there were still some things I still hadn't gotten for like Thieves Den.
Yeah, like
So I enjoyed the games I started new. a New Game Plus, and then I filled out everything else.
Okay, okay, very nice, very nice.
Like, since we were talking about like the favorite type of video games that we like, me personally, I really like RPGs and like JRPGs.
JRPGs, yeah.
Like, I've never been one for like platformers or
Fighting
and then
games.
or fighting games. Talk of fighting games, except Mortal Kombat
Is Mortal
and
Kombat?
Guilty Gear
Okay, okay.
and Guilty Gear.
Alright.
So those two, I'm pretty decent. But if you give me like a really good JRPG, fucking, I'll be glued for
Mario
the entire
RPG.
time. I might try that one.
Go for it.
But what was Dragon Quest 11
Mm-hmm.
is a long ass fucking game.
Are you still playing? Didn't you? I thought you beat it, right? Didn't you?
I did. But that, like, if you give me a good JRPG, I will be glued to my seat for the entirety of it. Is what I'm saying,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
Dragon Quest 11 is a 90-hour game.
90?
Like,
Oh, Jesus.
it's you can get it done in like 70 to 90 hours, but that's not even trying to get extras usually.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I was stuck to that for 90 hours. But there is an epilogue to it. So technically I've never finished Dragon Quest 11.
Mm-hmm.
But because there's still an epilogue that I need to play. And I started the epilogue and I got a good chunk in. But I refuse to play it. I don't like it. It's just nah. Because it, like, what it felt like was kind of like undid a lot of like the stuff that happened for the other 90 hours. And so that bothered me a lot. But other than that fact, it's a very good game. But like, I've always been one for like JRPGs and like story heavy games, because even though my family usually stuck to shooters, I realized I'd watch my siblings play more often than not because of that. But
Yeah.
because of that, I got really invested in stories for video games. So if you wanted me to, I can give you the whole lore dump of Gears of War.
We'll do that. We'll do that another. Whoa, girl, calm down. There's only so much time we have on
I
here.
know, I know, I know. But like,
Maybe another episode. Hell yeah.
that's been my thing. Is like I really like story heavy games,
Yeah.
and actually, that's the reason why I loved Elden Ring so much.
Mm-hmm.
Because there was a story to it, and you could dig deep into the lore and everything. And like at first, I couldn't play it for the life of me because I didn't have a build that was very suited to my playstyle.
Yeah.
So I dropped it for a few months, and I think you know about that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
eventually, I restarted. I made a new character, and once I got to a good playstyle for me, that was another thing where I was just glued to my seat. But like that one, I was just so invested into the story that I even took the time to do multiple playthroughs of that game just to get all the endings and like just see what like just everything.
Mm-hmm.
And like the thing is, like, I don't usually like particularly hard games. So if it's so
Cuphead.
Cuphead's fun. Cuphead's hard though, and so I haven't touched it.
Yeah.
But and so like for a very long time I would avoid those type of games. But Elden Ring was one of those games where I was just so intrigued by the story that I was just like, I'm in it for the long run. And so I realized that really affects my viewpoint on which games I play.
Yeah.
So for a game like um what was an example? So like for like shooters, you're not exactly there for the story. You can be, but it's for the gameplay.
Yeah, it's really
So
gameplay.
I'm
Like everyone plays
like
shooters for like multiplayer, unless it's like a single player fast shooter. That's fun,
right,
but like
right,
everyone's playing multiplayer. Yeah.
right. And so usually like I like playing shooters occasionally, but it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
And then with platformers, I do enjoy it, but that's another type of game where you're more there for the gameplay itself, you know?
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So that's why I think I stick more to RPGs and JRPGs because I just really like the story.
Yeah. Okay. Rather than like anything else to it.
Right.
That's right. That's amazing. I love that.
Because also another thing I've realized about myself is if a game makes me cry, I'll be happy with it.
That's a good one. That's a good. It's an interesting way to put it. You know, play like New Super Mario Wonder and shed a tear.
Yeah. That's why I really want to play Galaxy or the one with
Hmm.
stars, the Lumies.
Yeah, the Galaxy games.
Yeah, I want to play those because I'm like, I hear those are kind of sad.
Yeah, the story. The story's really good. It's really told really well.
Yeah, I've been wanting to play that one. Yeah, that's my personally my thoughts on like what kind of games I like.
Yeah, hell yeah. A lot of game genres. A lot of game genres are being changed. A lot of new ones are coming in. A lot of
Right.
old ones are being reconstructed to be better and or for worse. Because there's a lot of things that are happening in game. Like it's so crazy to me to think how far gaming has gone from like
Hmm.
growing up. Because I remember like growing up a Nintendo fan. Even to this day, you'll get bullied for that shit.
A
You
little
would
bit.
you would get made fun of like if you're not playing Xbox or PlayStation. And now everyone's playing everything, which is I'm happy crossplay exists
Me too.
because like it makes gaming so much more fun. Like it's better to play together rather than like you gotta buy a different console just so you can play a certain game. So
Yeah.
I think it's a great thing. It's a great little feature overall. Um, for gaming wise, but it's crazy to think how far gaming has gone and how far it's gonna keep going.
Hmm.
And how I see it, cause like to think like back then, gaming like maybe a couple like eras ago was kind of to think like um people would look down upon it like as a fun entertainment and or a waste of time. Even to this day, people still think it's
Yeah.
either a waste of time or entertainment. And now you can make money out of this. Like when it comes to being a YouTuber and all that stuff. I remember like being a YouTuber, like seeing YouTube grow was kind of like not watching YouTube grow, like certain YouTubers grow. Like people would always be like questioning, like you play video games for a living, that's weird. But now it's kind of like, oh, you play video games for a living, that's cool. Like how
Yeah.
like how much do you make? It's really weird to think like how much it's changed. Like the whole like people would judge you if you made money playing a game, and now it's kind of like a normal society thing, which is cool.
Especially because most of the people who do video games and like Twitch and like YouTube and stuff like that, are doing it because they have a passion for it. They
Yeah,
like
they
video
like
games.
they like playing video games. They want to show people like they have a big passion for it. They love playing video games, you know.
Yeah.
So it's a fun thing, and I think like and there's certain YouTubers. Not everyone's gonna like hit it perfectly, and some of them are just throwing it for fun and all that. But you can tell some people are really into like certain games and stuff like that. And some games aren't
Hmm.
gonna work out all the time, 100%. And I can
Right,
see
right.
that, but like it's fun to think like this is a nice way of having a whole how to say it a new way of entertainment. Not like
Yeah.
at this point, it's kind of an old way now. This is like old now. It's weird to think like,
It's
cause
becoming more accepted.
yeah, it's becoming more accepted, and there's still some areas that are gray, of course, because how much you have to grow as a content creator and all that stuff. Like see what your passion is on that stuff, and if you're
Right.
passionate enough for it, you know. So I think it's pretty dope. I think it's cool. I like how everyone can accept it, and I feel like everyone has played a video game at least once,
Yeah.
whatever game it might be. It's really really dope.
Even Flappy Bird.
I remember Flappy Bird. Oof, that
Oof.
was people were that was a weird era.
That was a weird
The,
era.
the whole refunding, breaking of phones to the point where the guy who made Flappy Bird had to pull the game out because how much threats he was getting. It was insane to see that.
Wasn't he also getting like sued by Nintendo because of the pipes?
I don't remember, but I don't know where this guy is at right now. This fool made money, so I don't know where we're
He made his bank.
he made his bank. I don't know where the Flappy Bird guy is at. Wherever he might be, I hope he's safe. Because there was some funny stuff that people did when they played Flappy Bird.
Yeah.
Well, Riley, I think that wraps it up for today's recording booth.
This has been fun.
Thank you for coming along to this small to welcome to introducing yourself and being back into like this whole recording booth session, you know.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Of
This has
course,
been really
Riley,
fun.
this is really fun. I love talking to people, whoever it might be, about anything or list stuff. I hope to have you again. You know, maybe for another podcast episode.
Oh, absolutely.
Really, really fun. If you've made it this far, which 99% of people don't,
And
thank
that's
you, and that's all
okay.
right. Thank you. I am. I'm slowly coming back. I want to keep making content because I don't want another job. I want this as my little career.
We want the dream.
We want the dream. I want to get everybody YouTube. So thank you again, Riley, for your time.
Of course. Really
Thank
fun.
you for people who sticked along all the way. Remember to like, subscribe. I probably should have said in the beginning, but who cares? Like, subscribe, watch my other videos. Say hi to Riley.
Hello.
Say bye, Riley.
Bye.
Thank you again, and I hope to also see you in another video. Goodbye.
Bye bye.